What's good, what's good, what it do? It's your boy Roland Ross throwing up life up. I'm here to talk about the iPhone 5, where we will be discussing on how to make high quality videos, and especially for YouTube or for family, how you do it. My hair, oh yeah, that's just conditioner. I was washing my hair and my son like, you gonna start like that? Yes. So this is my first time in front of this video camera, but we're about to get this out right now. Let's do it. Voila. Yeah, that's more like it. That's how I like it. Now back to the topic at hand concerning the iPhone. We will be going through some features and settings, but I will have my son Robert to explain it. He's more grammatically correct as far as explaining things. So let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Robert Ross from Roland Ross Productions. I'm the editor of the videos that we've been publishing on YouTube and things like that. Today we're going to be talking about two great apps for your iPhone for recording great video, high quality videos. One that we did for our beef stir. So we're going to be talking about FiLMiC Pro and iMovie. FiLMiC Pro is for recording. It's fantastic, almost like a real DSLR camera. It has a lot of features and settings for recording great videos, and iMovie is a editing program that we can use. I'm going to talk about that later on, give you some examples, things like that. So I'm going to get into FiLMiC Pro. This is my dad's phone. We're going to use the settings that he used when he recorded the beef stir. So first we want to go into our settings and make sure airplane mode is on so that nobody tries to call you while you're in the middle of a shot and it messes up your shot. And because it saves battery, because you're not connected to any mobile networks or Wi-Fi. Then you want to go into brightness and wallpaper and turn your brightness all the way up so that you can make sure your exposure is correct, and so that you can go outside and the sunlight, you can still see it in the sunlight during the daytime. Then you want to go into FiLMiC Pro, and the first thing you'll see is the main camera screen, what you'll be seeing when you're recording. So first we want to go into our settings. We want to keep it at 24p. This is 24 frames per second. This is what we record with our other cameras, so it's really good that it can record at 24 frames per second so that it looks the same. We don't want to mess with anything on the second bar. This is the speeds. We want to keep it at regular speed, and we don't have any presets set up. So first we go into camera. We want to make sure that it's the back camera. It's this one right here, the 8 megapixel camera that comes standard in iPhones. Next, our orientation. We want to keep it at home button right, so that the home button's on the right and the camera's on the left. Then we go into our resolution. We have it at 1920 by 1080. That's what most people record in. It's the highest quality that you can get on the iPhone. You can have it at lower qualities if you need to save space or you want lower quality. Well, our frame rate is already at 24. Our preview will be at full screen transparent. Our zoom stays on. Image stabilization stays off. Reticle is at double. No 35mm flip, that's off. GPS tagging is off, unless you want it to tag your location in every video that you record. You can have event mode that stays off. Histogram, you can have it on if you want to see the visual information of what you're recording real time. Next, our overlays. We can have audio meter, which shows you the audio levels while you're recording. Our thirds guide stays off. Framing guide is at 2.35 to 1. Our matte stays off. Clip naming convention is at date, comma, time. Our header is off. And then we go into advanced encoding. Our video is at 50 megabytes per second. This is so that we can have the best quality and the best color correction that we can get. You can have it at smaller if you need to save space or you want lower quality again. Next, our audio will be at 48 kilohertz uncompressed so that we can have the best sound from our device. Then we have external links for their website so you can ask questions if you need help. So when we're back on our main camera screen, first thing we want to do is our focus. It's this blue box, and so you can change what you want to focus on, and once you have the right focus, then you can press the focus lock button so that if your camera moves or your subject is moving, the camera isn't constantly trying to focus. Next we have our exposure, and so you can drag this around also to get the exposure right. You can go into the lighter or darker areas of what you're shooting, and when it looks right, you can press the exposure lock button so that it will keep the same exposure on whatever you're recording. Next you have the white balance, and so to set this up, you just need a regular white sheet of paper, and you put it in front of your camera and let the auto white balance, and then you press the white balance lock button so that it keeps the same white balance throughout the recording. Next you have the LED light. You only want to use that if you don't have any other sources of light. Next you have your library, where you'll be able to see all the clips that you've recorded. We'll talk about that later. Here in this box you have your battery life and the histogram. If you've turned it on, you can see the visual information of what you're recording. Next we have the theme button. It's this eye right here. You press it and you can change how the camera screen looks. You can set it on whatever you want, whatever's to your liking. Next you have the digital zoom, which is the plus and minus button. So the plus button will zoom in, minus button will zoom out. Lastly you have the record button. It's fairly simple. You just press once to start recording. You press it again to stop. Then you can go into your library, and this is where also you can see the clips that you've recorded. And so you click on whatever clip you want. You can play it here, so it'll play your clip. You can also trim it to get rid of any parts of the video that you don't want. Then you can also use the export button. This is where you'll export your video. And if you're trying to use a video editing program on your phone, like iMovie, what we're going to use, then you want to send it to your camera roll. You just press copy to camera roll, and it'll be there. And you can also send it to things like Facebook and YouTube if you want. So these are the basic settings of FiLMiC Pro, where you can record the best quality video on the iPhone. So next we're going to get into iMovie. It's what you'll be able to use to edit the video that you've recorded. So when we open up iMovie, this is what it'll look like. And it'll show you the different project that you've already worked on. So starting from the bottom, you have the question mark, which will give you information about some of the features on the app. The plus button is the new project button, where you can have a new project or a new trailer. Play, you can play whatever video that you've selected. Here's the export button, where you can export the video also to your camera roll, or you can do it to Facebook and YouTube. Here you can import your videos. If you've exported it to iTunes, this is where you can import it from iTunes if you've made a backup or you need to delete something and get it back. And then you have the trash button, which will delete any project that you've selected, and this is how you select them. So first we're going to have a new project, and so you can edit either portrait or landscape, and we usually record in landscape, so we'll edit it in landscape. So the first button you'll see up here is your projects. That'll just take you back to your project screen. Then here you have your settings. This is where you can change your theme. So you have modern and bright, playful, neon, travel, and simple news. You have your theme music, which changes based on what theme you have. You can also loop the music if the video is longer than the theme music. You can fade in your first clip, or you can fade out your last clip. You can turn those on or off if you want. Then you have your undo button. So if you messed up and you want to change it back, you just press undo. Then you can record audio straight from your device, but you need to have a video clip first. Here we have the help button again, which will tell you the different features on the app. Then you have the camera button, and this is where you can record video straight from the phone without using FiLMiC Pro. If you're on the go or in a hurry, you can quickly record. Fairly easy. Then you can preview the video. If you don't like it, you can retake it, or you can use it. And then here you see your video in the project. And then you have your play button so that you can see. And then you have your add media button. And this is where you can put any videos that you've recorded, any pictures that you've taken, or any songs that you have on your phone. You can put them into your project. So here, this is what we recorded on FiLMiC Pro. And we can use that video. So you can either preview it here, or you can just import it into the project. And so if you have two clips together, here you'll see a little black box, and this is your transition. So when you double click on it, you can change what the transition looks like. So you can either not have a transition, where it just cuts from one video to another, or you can cross dissolve, so that one video fades out and the other one fades in at the same time. And you can change the length of however it takes. Then you can also use whatever theme that you've picked, you can use that kind of transition. So it'll look like once to start recording. Things like that. Next, you have this pink line. This is your scrubber so that you can see where in the video you are. And if you want to splice a clip in half, you just pick the place where you want to cut it in half, and you just swipe down. And so you'll see a black box again. It's your transition. Right now it's a straight line, so it just cuts from one video to another. But you can change that also to, whatever you need.
Fade.
And you can also move clips around just by dragging them, and you can drop them wherever you want them. You drag it at the end or the beginning. And so here,
press it again to stop.
You can see that it just fades from one video to
Press
another.
it again to stop.
Like that. And also in the add media category, this is where you can put photos that you've taken or audio clips. And so iMovie comes with audio clips, so it has different types of theme musics or sound effects, or you can use songs from your phone. And so if you add a sound effect, it'll come up as a blue box, and you can drag that around to wherever you want. And you see the pink line again will show you where in the video that will show up. Like that. Or you can have theme music, which will show up as a green box, so that you can have sound effects and you can have music playing at the same time. So music is green, sound effects are blue, and you can also have audio that you record straight from your phone, and that will show up as a purple box. And so sound effects, audio recording, and music can all be played onto your movie. You can also trim clips if you need to using these yellow knobs. And if you double click on a clip, you'll have the clip settings. This is where you can change your title style so that it comes on when the clip first starts, or you see it while the clip is playing, or you see it when the clip is about to end. And so you can type whatever you want into these text boxes. And you can also change the sound of the clip. So you can turn the sound all the way up, or you can turn it all the way down, or you can just mute it by pressing the switch to turn on and off the sound. Or you can delete the clip by either pressing this button or just by taking the video and dragging it onto the screen. And this is basically how you can record from FiLMiC Pro and then edit onto iMovie using only your phone.